And we're live. Good afternoon or evening, all of you friends and fiends. Today, we've got a special guest. We're talking to Charles Band, and he's got Confessions of a Puppetmaster. What the heck is that about? Well, we'll be talking about that very soon. Here we go, our intro, and we'll be right back after that.
You're tuning in to Geek Speak, a Geek Inside production. We're sitting with special guests in entertainment, news, and entertainment. So sit back and enjoy. As we geek out together. Now.
And we are back with Charles Band. Hello there. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Did I hear a dog a moment ago?
Oh yeah, it never fails. As soon as I get on the phone or get on the show, they start barking. Somebody made it.
That's all right. I just wondered.
That is the perils of live streaming. So, Charles, welcome back to Geek Insider. It is a pleasure to have you once again. The Puppetmaster is in the house, you guys. So if you are here watching on the live stream, say hello. And Charles, tell us about this book. You've got Confessions of a Puppetmaster, a Hollywood Memoir of Ghouls, Guts, and Gonzo Filmmaking on HarperCollins Publishers.
Yeah, well, it's on pre-sale now. Wherever you buy your books, go to Amazon, and it comes out in less than 2 weeks. And, it sort of happened during COVID. I've been, we still make movies like Corona Zombies, we never slowed down. But still, it was a moment where we suddenly were at home and there was some extra time. And through a really interesting series of, things that usually don't happen, I talked to the people at HarperCollins. They were real interested. They put me in touch with a literary agent. He put me in touch with a wonderful autobiographer, a guy named Adam Felber. And before you knew it, we had a deal. And we spent about 5 months together every Saturday morning on the phone. And he was like, having me tell my stories, which, I am so forward thinking. I never look back. I'm just looking at next year and the following. And, but it was kind of fun going back and reliving these things. And Adam was real easy to talk to. And I thought, well, it's really memoir sounds like it's over. So to me, it's more like my career so far. But we've never been more busy. I mean, next year, 2022, we have 18 movies planned. So we're rocking, but it was still good to catch up and go back 40 odd years and tell a bunch of stories.
Did you lose a bet or something? Did somebody have to twist your thumbs?
No, no, it's just, again, we still managed to make movies during a real rough time, but we sent everyone home for all the obvious reasons. Everybody's working at home, and I had, extra time in a weird way to devote to this, because it's not, you got to remember things, which is fine, but I also have a memory of convenience. I erase all the bad stuff. I have to, because it's been ups and a lot of downs, and I think people will enjoy the book. It's not a book where there's a little moment about every movie. It's more a book about the journey of an entrepreneur and, good times and real bad times.
That's one of the things that we love here at Geek Insider is the kind of the genesis story. Like, so we'll get insights into the young Charles Band. And can you explain a little bit about Gonzo Filmmaking? Is that a coined term or something that you've inherited?
Seems to make sense. Well, I mean, I make exploitation movies. Yes, a lot of them were horror films, but they're also sci-fi, fantasy. I mean, on the eve of the pandemic, as LA was shut down, I made a movie called Corona Zombies. So that kind of sums it up. And we did that literally. We shot the live action material in a day because everyone was freaked out about this new disease. And I came up with an approach with sort of a What's Up Tiger Lily deal with existing footage. And it turned out to be, I think, fun. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. So, of course, I published both quotes, the good ones and the ones saying that, we're the worst movie ever made. But, it was now a year later, it's sort of more fun to look at it because, we can all make fun of how silly we all were and hoarding toilet paper and all the baloney. And, my lead character in the movie, this chick who's real ditzy, she takes a shower fully clothed because she thinks that may help her, not get COVID. So, it's funny stuff like that. But Gonzo Filmmaking is just being quick and being in the moment and doing things that a studio can't do. I mean, of course, they have oodles of money and we're on small budgets. But if something's fun and topical and in the moment, we can turn that around really quickly.
Kind of has shades of almost like Mystery Science Theater 3000, where you're taking these clips of movies and things like that. I've had the pleasure of talking with Cody Renee Cameron
right.
about Tiger King. So that was a lot of fun. And but this filmmaking schedule that you have, we've talked to a few of your directors, Charles. They're like, oh my gosh, he's like, you have 10 days if you're lucky.
No, and sometimes 6 and 4, and in the case of Barbie and Kendra, 1.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but we're on a good roll. It's a new business now. We're not that long ago it was direct to video. It was a different matrix, and for a while we were the #1 supplier to Blockbuster in Hollywood, the independent supplier. We had a movie out in the early 90s every month, and that completely has changed. So now we're lucky that we have fullmoonfeatures.com, which is our app streaming site, or you can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Apple too, but you go to Amazon or Full Moon Features there as well. And that's where sort of the new video store. So not only are we making more movies and you can access hundreds of the films I've made, we've also licensed a lot of movies, Eurotrash and crazy films that I think people will enjoy. I mean, we're sort of like, it's like a video store. It's just, easy to access. You're in your home and you get to watch a lot of weird movies.
Now, Charles, when you mentioned, that it was for pre-order already, I went over and jumped and got the audiobook. Are you reading it, or is there somebody else doing the audio?
Well, I sort of did a hybrid because, I've never done this before. First, I never wrote a book or co-wrote a book, and nor have I done this audio thing. And it required 35 or 40 hours in the studio. And to be honest, I just did not have that kind of time because my schedule's insane. But what I did, and what I think worked out pretty well, is I went in the studio, I read the essentially chapter 1. It's the preface. It's sort of the setup of the book, and it's all from the set and how we put together Corona Zombies. So I read that, and I read the acknowledgments because I'm thanking people that have helped me and people I've sort of went through this journey with. So at least there's a little bit of me reading, and then there's a wonderful voice actor who does the book. So I think it sounds pretty cool.
Now, I'm looking forward to it. I've had like 11 credits on my Audible account because I just don't get them, but I keep them for those times when a good book comes out that I want to listen to. And of course, I've told you before, I've been a fan since early on, Full Moon, and that's why I love having you on. And this is something that is new. Like you said, this is the first time you wrote a book. How long did it take you to put this together? I mean, you said during COVID, was it the whole year?
Well, it was, about 5 months of Saturday mornings with Adam. And then, it takes a while because, again, this is not a self-published book. This is, HarperCollins, one of the major publishers. So there's a lot of vetting because, I tell stories about, they are my confessions. I should actually hold up the book, like you're supposed to do. There it is, Confessions. So, because, I've been involved with kind of starting the career of so many actors and people behind the camera. Demi Moore and Helen Hunt and, Viggo Mortensen and, Stan Winston and I worked for many years, and Andrew Davis, and it just goes on and on and on. So a lot of those stories are in there, but I really wanted it to be more about sort of my journey and what it takes to just keep going. It's hard. This is a business that is totally hand to mouth. You don't, no one says, oh, here's your allowance for the next 3 years and focus on your work. That doesn't happen in the independent world. So, you do something, hopefully it works, you get some money, you go, hey, I can last 3 more months, or, oh, this thing really didn't work out at all. I better figure out how to pay people next week. And that's been the cycle for 40 odd years. And again, there were really good stretches and really, really, really bad ones. And, the book has got all sorts of craziness in it. I did things as a kid also. I had this entrepreneurial spirit as a little kid, before I started making movies. So as a teenager, I went out and did bizarro things and got into a lot of trouble, of course, but not that much trouble because I grew up in Italy. And in Italy, if you have a good spiel and you can be nice to people, and I luckily spoke the language, I sort of wiggled my way out of some serious things. So, I luckily had all that going. and passionate about movies. And then, I started making movies, and it's like getting on a weird treadmill. And if you slow down, you're screwed. So you just keep going.
Mm-hmm. We are just at our 10-minute mark. We know we've only got you for another 10 minutes. So let me just put this up here. And we're back with Charles Band.
Now, did I hear
Why
a
did we do
cat
that?
too? Did I hear a cat too? I heard it meowing. Okay, maybe that's my imagination.
Oh no, the voices. Speaking of the voices,
right.
When you were putting these stories together, for your memoir, for kind of going back into the memory machine, were there stories where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have shared that. Oh no.
These are my confessions, right? So you have to be open, and I'm not embarrassed or about anything. I mean, it's part of, we all make mistakes. I made a gazillion mistakes because when I started, I was, I didn't have any formal training. I mean, I grew up on a movie set, so I knew that part of it. But, I was just itching to start making movies. So, I mean, I didn't spend a day in college. I graduated high school, jumped into the craziness, never went to business school, which I kind of regret because I made so many mistakes, with money. And now, of course, I've done this for a while. I'm a little more careful and conservative, but I look back because I had to look back and remember these stories and talk to Adam. I go, God, that was crazy. Did I do that? But it's here I am, and we're still rolling.
Now, Charles, I mentioned that I got the Audible book, but I love having a book in my hand. And I know on the website, you guys, y'all do the package deals. Y'all have some cool stuff. Are we going to be able to get like signed copies from the website?
Yeah, we're going to have that once the book is out. The promotion we have, I think it's still running. We did it over last weekend. Is you go on the site, you buy the book, pre-buy the book. Let's say go to Amazon, and just send us proof of purchase, and then we're going to give you a 1-year subscription to our streaming site for free. So it's like a really good deal. $60 streaming site, no money. So you get the book and free streaming for a year.
Charles, you can't make money if you give it away.
Well, that's what HarperCollins told me. I literally, if I could, I know this sounds ridiculous because I really want people to read the book because it's really fun, and I think it'll give people good ideas. If they're hoping to have a career anywhere in the arts, movies, videos, music, I think the book is helpful because I've done this for a lot of years, and I think they'll learn things that you just can't learn in school. But I'm just happy with the way the thing turned out. And I forgot the question. What was the question?
Just about getting signed copies.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I think it's great. My membership is about to run out, my year membership. And so, I'm going to get me a copy just so I can get, not just so, but so I have the book and that I can also get that year subscription. But of course, I'd always love to have something with Charles Band's signature on there.
Yeah, no, once the book is physically out, we'll get some more copies in, and I'm sure we'll put them up for sale on our site with my signature. I'm happy to sign it. I remember what I was saying earlier. I would love to give everyone this book for free. That would be a bummer for HarperCollins, so I can't do that. So I figure, well, okay, you get the book, you spend $25, whatever it is, you get a 1-year subscription to Full Moon Streaming, fullmoonfeatures.com, and that's pretty cool because then you can see hundreds and hundreds of movies, and the book does wrap itself around all these movies I've made. So that's kind of one way of doing it. We'll keep that promotion going a little while longer.
Well, I'm definitely going to jump on it myself. Like I said, my subscription's about to run out. But Meredith, you had a question?
I was going to say, exploitation. It's like, hey, we're all taking advantage of you, Charles. Confessions of a Puppetmaster is on HarperCollins.com, and we do have the link in the show notes, so make sure that you guys check that out. We also have a link to Full Moon Features, where you have the live streaming and everything. And again, when people get the annual subscription, you're practically giving away the farm. Charles, business school, what happened here?
Well, again, just trying to think of a way to make this work and for people to have fun, and that's all I can do. I can't give away the book for free because I'm not a publisher.
Yeah, there'll be no more books for you.
That's right. Yeah. $20 you buy the book, pre-buy it right now, and then you get a 1-year full subscription free for fullmoonfeatures.com. And that's really cool. I mean, we're going to release probably 50, 60 movies next year. We're going to make 18 of our own, and then we license other movies. It's going to be a real busy year. And it's I'm really proud of the site. It's the only one kind of like it because it's an exploitation site. It's not just horror, It's got movies that would fold under the exploitation banner. So we got quite a weird selection for sure.
Well, and the collection is so good. It takes me, 20 minutes to find which one I want to watch. And it's not because they're bad. It's just like, what am I in the mood for tonight? And speaking of which, what is coming out next? What movie's coming up next?
Well, I mean, we're like in post-production and pre-production on like 7 different movies. So we got more chapters of the Resonator, Miskatonic U. We released the original one a few months ago. We're making 4 more Baby Oopsies. That was very successful for us in our little world. You can't beat Baby Oopsie. And I think we did something really well casting 2 very unlikely leads in that movie. If you've not seen it, Baby Oopsie is a character in Demonic Toys. We made Demonic Toys 2, and I thought, well, it's time for that little cussing, nasty chick to come back and make a mess. And then we thought, and I worked with Billy Butler, my partner in this show, who's super talented, and he wrote it and directed it. I said, let's do something different, and he came up with the idea of, again, I don't want to spoil it because I think if you don't know anything about it, it's more fun than me to lay it out. But you would think normally a movie like Baby Oopsie would have kind of the young, good-looking GQ guy and a hot chick, and the usual formula for horror movies, and people get in trouble. And instead, we went completely different, and I think it's part of the charm of the movie, the first one. Now we're making a couple more sequels, and then there's we're making Dr. Death, which will be essentially the 13th Puppetmaster movie that was planned for last year, and we had to push that because of COVID. Another movie that was going to shoot, we were like 2 weeks away from shooting last year before COVID messed it up, is the 5th Subspecies movie. We've been waiting to make that forever. That was all set to go, and it's going to go again with everyone returning. Anders Hove, the same Ted Nicolau, the director, writer. It's going to be shooting March, April in Croatia. So, I mean, that's just the first 3-4 months. So we're super busy.
So with your book, Confessions of a Puppet Master, are you going to be going on any kind of a book tour? Will you be attending Comic Cons or horror cons?
Yeah, I'll do what I can. The book tour thing, if it wasn't still a year where we're recovering from COVID, I'd be doing that. But those tours are not really happening again yet until I guess people decide that it's worthwhile, because a lot of people are not coming back yet. A lot of people are still worried. So as much as that would have been totally normal, this is sort of abnormal time. So there's no book tour going on. That's why I'm doing shows like yours, and there's a bunch of the things coming up in the next few weeks that they just point me and I go, okay, they give me a schedule, and they go, oh my God, you only got, well, whatever, 5 more minutes or 3 more minutes. But
well, and speaking of, we got you for like 1 more minute because you got another show to do.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes. That's all right.
Okay. Well, and of course, we could talk to you for hours on end. We're huge fans. And that was one thing that was really cool when we really started focusing on the indies, the indie writers, indie movies, indie comic books, all of that. I was just thrilled when we were able to get you on the show for the first time. And I can't wait to get my hands on the book. I will probably be watching some Full Moon tonight because I haven't watched it in a while. And folks, if you haven't, you really have to go and look at the library that's available over there on the website, because it is a ton of great movies. If you're not into horror, then there's sci-fi. If you're not into sci-fi, then there's other movies. And like you said, they're licensing a lot. It's not just all Full Moon.
Right.
And so, he said it's $60 if you buy it, or if you do your subscription outright. But if you go and get the book, pre-order the book, and send them proof, then you get a free year of this. And trust me, you'll enjoy it if you like the Full Moon stuff.
Thank you. Wow, you should hang with me on all these interviews coming up. And, I'll just say, hey, listen to this dude. But no, that's it. And I think people will enjoy the book for what it is. And I'm sure there'll be people saying, oh, I wanted a little story from every one of the 12 Puppet Masters. And there are other books that have been published about, more specifically about each movie. It came from the video aisles. There are several that really dissect and go into every movie, and they interview directors and effects guys. And that's not what this book is. It's really just sort of my crazy journey and the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Really looking forward to seeing the book. Confessions of a Puppetmaster, you guys. A Hollywood Memoir of Ghouls, Guts, and Gonzo Filmmaking by Charles Band, and co-writer or editor?
Adam Felber.
Adam Felber is there. The link to HarperCollins directly to the book is in our show notes, so make sure that you check that out. And Charles, we would love to have you back because we have a lot of independent creators who want to either break into writing or filmmaking and things like that, and would probably love to pick your brain.
My brain is available. You just set it up, and it's a crazy business. It's I'm sure that there are other businesses that are similar, but I think anything that tries to marry the arts with commerce is really it can be very rewarding, but it's also a challenge because you're trying to figure out, how do I keep doing what I want to do and make enough money to pay the bills? And that's not always easy, but just those artists out there, persevere, just make it happen. Otherwise, you're going to be in some boring, stupid job, and it's going to be a bummer. And then you're going to be 50, or you go, fuck, what did I do? I should have been making movies, or 60 or 80. So, but I think the book's a lot about that as well. I'm going to hold it up because they told me to hold it up. Check it out.
Yes, absolutely.
Very much.
There we go.
There you go.
It's my confessions. So there's crazy stuff in there. I mean, I went to the Slammer for a weekend. This is not all fun and games, right?
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy. Oh, I guess we have to get the book to find out what that was about.
Now, is there any confessions about you and Robin? Or isn't that her name, your girlfriend? I'm sorry.
Maybe.
On that note, we don't want your publicist to get mad at us. We're gonna.
That's okay. I appreciate it. Nice talking to you guys again.
Bring your book back up here, so that again, Confessions of a Puppetmaster. We have been speaking with Charles Band. I'm going to put the card up here so that we can say goodbye. It has been a pleasure, Charles. We look forward to seeing you again. On that note, you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. This is Geek Insider, and we're geeking out.
Subscribe to the Geek Insider podcast on your favorite listening app and sign up for the newsletter on our website. We also have advertising opportunities through the website, podcast, and newsletter. For details, contact advertising at geekinsider.com. This has been a Geek Insider production. Thank you for listening. Geek out.